Here we are at a secret undisclosed location with Rob Langdon. Rob, as many people are aware, has made a fantastic find at DIV-11, and this video actually is going to be a continuation of the series of videos that Rob has shot and is shown on the Diggin In Virginia website. This is going to be day 5, the unpacking of the coin purse. How are you today, Rob?
Doing fine.
A little nervous?
A little nervous.
Well, it is a big event. We've all been waiting for this. Rob, there's been a lot of talk on the forums. There was a lot of suggestions on what you would want to do for the filming of this unveiling. There were suggestions that perhaps you'd want to have a commercial TV station shoot it. There was a lot of different suggestions, different people who thought there were different ways to do this. Why did you decide to do a private videotaping of this?
Well, I figured that a commercial television station probably wouldn't have much knowledge about the find, wouldn't have much knowledge about the meaning of the find. They probably asked me all kinds of questions that I was not prepared to answer. And I wanted somebody that had a passion for the hobby and for the meaning of the relics to actually do the interview. Okay, well, we appreciate that, Rob.
I know that you've invited some of your closest friends here for this monumental event. Would you like to introduce them at this time?
Sure.
Okay, we're going to pan the camera around. We'll start here on the end with this gentleman.
Let's start with John.
We'll start with John then. All right. Okay.
We got John and Rose Kendricks there together.
They, in fact, are the founders and operators of the famous Diggin In Virginia event, and they've been doing this for several years. I guess now we could actually do a small interview with them. John, what prompted you to found such an event?
Well, I had a vision that I wanted to bring people from all over the country to get the opportunity to dig some Civil War relics like I've been able to do just about all my life, and I wanted to share it with folks.
Well, we appreciate that. I know that you've had attendees from all over the country, and in fact we're from up north, and we certainly greatly appreciate the opportunity that your event has provided. And to your right is your wife, Rose, and I don't think there's any doubt that this event could never have been put on without her great administrative attention to detail. And we thank you also, Rose. And I would like to know what your views are, what your thoughts are before we do the unveiling. This unique find was made at your event, and what are your thoughts before the actual unveiling of this?
Well, I think it's just a great thing that Rob is doing, deciding to preserve this and do it in a structured manner versus just ripping into it during the hunt and scattering stuff hither and yon. I think it's a great thing he's done. His patience, I really commend him on.
Well, you're absolutely right. In fact, we've done some interviews with people right after Rob had made his find, and surprisingly enough to myself, every one of those folks indicated that they would have just ripped that purse apart, and that was shocking. But it is a good thing we have responsible people like Rob.
Yes, yes, indeed.
Okay, thank you. We're going to pan over here, and who are you, sir?
Hi, George Simmers, attendee to the DIVs.
Okay, George. Well, I'm sure that you're excited like the rest of us to be here and, in fact, witness this historical event.
I brought my youngest son with me to experience this piece of history.
Well, he's definitely going to have something to remember here today. And over here, what is your name, ma'am?
I'm Betty Stewart. I'm from Florida, and I come up to help Rose and Johnny.
I've seen you at all the events,
Yeah,
yes.
I'm the hostess with the mostest.
I'm sure that's true. I'm sure that's true. And I guess that's all we have, except we have the gentleman on the end. We have the gentleman on the end. What is your name, sir?
My name is Mike Higgins. Well, I'm one of Rob's friends there from the dig. I met him last fall there, and seems like he might be a friend forever.
In fact, you were on the ridge, actually, the day this was found.
Right, yeah.
You were up there. I remember that.
When I got the phone call from Rob, and he asked me if I was finding anything, and I said, well, I found a little bit. I found lunch. And, he was all excited about her, and I had to go find Rob on the ridge. So
I see, okay.
Not too long after he found it.
That's terrific. Okay, Rob, I wanted to ask you before we do our more in-depth interview, actually does this find mean to you?
Boy, that's a hard question, you know. Yeah, gosh, that's a really hard question. You know, the relic itself is, in its completeness, is just something that, just holding it, you know, is just sort of an incredible feeling. I don't know. It's like a tangible link to the past. And my idea of the monetary value of what's inside and what have you is immaterial to me. I don't really care what's inside. I mean, I care what's inside, but that's not my main goal.
You're not measuring it by what the monetary value of this find would be.
It's to me the value is in the completeness of the relic.
Absolutely, and also this is such a personal item that would have been for this soldier, and it's a remarkable find. Well, let me ask you a few preliminary questions, Rob. How long have you, in fact, been involved with relic hunting?
I started relic hunting actually back in 1968.
Oh, wow. What sort of machines were you using then?
I was using a homegrown, home-built Heath kit.
Oh, wow. Heath kit. How about that? That was the days when Metro Tech and the Fisher T10s were popular and the Whites were just starting into their Goldmaster series. How about that? Well, have you ever found any sort of item that, I know this is in a class by itself, have you found any other personal items that a soldier might have had?
I found some pipe bowls and things of that nature, but nothing on to this caliber.
What sort of finds were your general mainstay back when you started out and up to the present?
Well, you can find a lot of cavalry items, the bits and harness, a lot of harness pieces and belt buckles.